Welcome, everybody. You are at your favorite place, La Sopa. Hoy, we have a wonderful segment on the stereotypes. How many stereotypes haven't you heard? How many haven't you heard about how we are here, how we are there? But we're going to tell you the truth. We're going to separate fact from fiction today in La Sopa. Hello, everyone. Welcome to La Sopa. I am your hostess with the mostest, Lillian. And I have today Diana Marcano and Carlos Vidal. We're going to be discussing stereotypes, the common stereotypes among Latinos and how we feel about them. Now, we've heard we're lazy, that we're populating America, that we're taking jobs, that our women are nice and sexy, our men are gangbangers. We are tired of it and we're here to break that up. So, Diana, how do you feel about all these things that are said about us? Like, what stereotype has struck your nerve?
I feel like many sources of the media have put us in a space in where we don't see the good part of Latinos. We don't see the quinceañeras. We don't see the parents being supportive, the parents learning about education in America. We don't see the part where everybody is involved. Your family is a big family. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of upbringing. I feel like many Latinos in America are producing better jobs. We do have the jobs that many other Americans wouldn't want to have. We are doing sanitation. We are the reason why many streets are clean. We are the reason why agriculture is done. And I just feel like movies, media, newspapers are giving us this space of interaction in which we have nowhere else to go but to believe this stereotype said about us. And I feel like there's so much more about Latinos.
So much more.
The fathers are involved. The fathers are taking the heel off in quinceañeras. They are there with their little girls.
However, I don't mean to cut you off, but I also see that with it's a double-edged sword because that's one part of it. There's also that part where the system has taken away a lot of parents from children. The system has taken away the opportunity.
In what ways you mean take away?
Well, just if you look at what's going on now, like you have so many people from Latin America trying to migrate on into the United States for a better life, even if it's collecting cans or selling candies at the train station or having a churro stand or whatnot. You know, it's just.
So you mean deportation, immigration now?
Right. Yeah. It's just it's a lot that's being taken away from us, and you know, there's the kids getting removed from their parents, having to be raised in a system that doesn't understand
or support
our culture. We're losing our traditions. We're losing who we are just to be able to assimilate to American culture.
I don't really think that our tradition is being lost. Perhaps I think that our tradition is being expanded. I think that there's always been some sort of immigration happening in America. And I believe that Latinos, instead of we do have negative stereotypes which can be untrue. Not every Latino man is a criminal. Not every Latino man is a father that's left the home. There are Latino men that are supporting their family, and there are Latino women who are being educated, like Sonia Sotomayor. She's one of our judges now in the courtrooms, and I believe that Latinos instead are expanding. Now we have something called Sweet 16 that probably wasn't even an American tradition.
Yeah, it's something that we brought into.
Of course, yes. I feel like Latinos are putting so much work into having educational background. We have become educated. Most of the children are being, since they're small, they're being put into that system in which they have to better their lives.
So I think Carlos is coming from another aspect. He's talking about like what the government and how they're setting us up, right?
Right. We're being denied from a lot of things, and people will sit here and say like the current president will sit here and say, "Oh, they're lazy."
Donald Trump, to be exact.
They're this and that. They're evil people.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
Whatever it is that he would say he had portrayed Hispanics and Latinos, but in reality, it's the complete opposite. We strive to be better. We come to this country not knowing English, with no education, with children, no health care, some people with no social security number, and you have to build all of that in a short time. You have to build credit in a short time. Whilst many people, are born with a silver spoon. They're born with credit. They're born
it's not
with
equal
education.
opportunity.
It's not, because if you think about it, yes, when you think about what a woman earns next to the average man, it's one thing. But then when you think of what a Hispanic woman earns next to an American white or American Caucasian woman, it's way far less. So you by the time you sit here and get to a Caucasian woman's financial stability level, or you still be far in the game, And then unless you are the Sofia Vergara's of the world or the J-Los, which it's not everybody,
So it's not everyone's story, and that's completely understandable. So coming from that struggle that we're constantly facing, there's so many things against us. There's incarceration. There's that distinguish you said, we come here, we're already on a deficit because we don't know English, we're not properly equipped, and when we do come, whether illegally or legally, all these barriers that we have. So yeah, we have those wonderful stories of the other side of Latinos that are prospering and they're getting better and they're evolving. Yes. But we do have the ones the majority that are trying to push through, and we're trying to push through, but we can't make it through because the government.
And I will say that one of the things that is keeping us incarcerated into progressing in this country is stereotypes. Like, you ever been in a position where when nobody else is expecting something good from you, you decide to stay limit?
Yes, they're
limitation.
They're putting that in your mind. They're constantly telling you. They're enforcing. It's the teachers.
Like
everyone.
Every woman, you can't go out and have a good time. You're put into this thing that you are chapeadora. Do you guys know what a chapeadora is?
Do you know what a chapeadora is?
That's another level of gold digging.
So now the popular stereotype is that all these Spanish women go to Colombia or go to Dominican Republic, get their bodies nice and done, and they just want a life of sitting nice and pretty. So they grab themselves that man with all this money so they can just look lavish the rest of their life. So this is a stereotype instead of Sotomayor, like you discussed earlier.
Instead of Sonia Sotomayor, many students, many women and Latino men, young men and women that are actually becoming lawyers. They're becoming part of the court system, politicians, doctors.
The number can grow. It's growing, and it's evolving to something different, something new, and there's a lot of opportunities now. But there's still a lot that we have to.
We have to break through it.
Think about it. Think of the high incarceration rate. Think about how there's so many people that don't get to live with their mom and dad. They have to be raised by their grandparents, and the infections like obesity, just high blood pressure or whatnot, and doctors can sit here and say, "Oh, they just don't care about their health. They don't."
No,
necessarily.
It's not necessarily.
But in reality, it's just that sometimes you give to your kids what you can give them,
and unfortunately, like you say, you can't give them. Why? Because these foods that are healthy for the kids, we can't afford. We don't have access to them. We can't afford them. So it's easier to go to the dollar store, go to McDonald's and Burger King, and be able to afford them. Because Whole Foods has the salmon for $20, and that's out of your budget. It's out of your range.
I would say everything is so limited to the Latino community.
Exactly. And
having to change their living conditions has become harder and harder as we go through. And this is without people looking at the other side of Latinos, the beautiful side of Latinos.
What we have to offer, what we
offer. What is inside every Latino? Inside of everybody has a dream. Everybody has a dream. We can see that, obviously, historically, with Martin Luther King, an African American. We have those roots. We have that dream. We have something to look forward. But so many limitations continue to keep us hostage.
Right.
And Latinos Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Hondurans, Cubans, so many Latinos that
so many.
have put so much hard work into building what America is, are being constantly
belittled
by society and even by our president right now, with the attacks, the continuous attacks for Mexican.
Well, we have to learn how to rise above
Americans.
that. We have to learn how to see beyond that, how to educate our kids,
Most
how to
definitely.
empower our kids.
That's where I personally feel we have to continue showing our kids and teaching that our tradition, our culture, everything that makes us who we are is important. And speaking Spanish, having the quinceañeras, being able to know that when you get older, yes, you do take care of your parents. Those are traditions that back home
Oh yes, are highly
are very
implemented.
important. Unity, and that gets washed out here because people so busy trying to catch up and live to this dream that it's very difficult for us to reach.
I agree. Today was a beautiful segment, guys. I really appreciate your input. We have to remember, everyone, that we are not what media has shown us to be as maids, these hot, sexy women, these gangbangers. We are much more than that. We have the power to be educated. We are a voice, and we have to teach our children who we can and will be.
Yes.
And we're wrapping it up because La Sopa estaba buena.